WWL-TV, Channel 4, New Orleans. This is Louisiana's news leader. Channel 4's Eyewitness Morning News.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us for our continuing hurricane coverage. Hurricane Danny it now is. We all went to bed with it tropical storm Danny. Overnight, it became a full-fledged hurricane.
And there's a hurricane warning in effect from Morgan City to Destin, Florida. And we have our hurricane expert with us now, Nash Roberts. Nash, can you give us a read on where this thing is going?
Well, to begin with, let's do the position where it is right now, and then we'll talk about where we think it's going. This is New Orleans right here on the map. Here's Grand Isle. Here's the mouth of the Mississippi River. And we're using a full-fledged hurricane symbol now, since it is a minimal hurricane. And it is located near Port Sulphur, Louisiana, and headed on a northeast direction, about like so. And I would think that when it does eventually, it'll cross this open water in Breton Sound, and when it eventually comes into the shoreline, it'll probably be somewhere between Biloxi and Panama City, in other words, in this area here. And the chances are that it'd be somewhere near Mobile, and I would think that it would be tonight before it got into that area. Now, at 6 a.m., we just did this position. I just finished working on it. 29.6 north, 89.6 west, near Port Sulphur, 45 miles southeast of New Orleans, 100 miles southwest of Mobile, moving northeast at 5 miles an hour, the max sustained wind 75, and the tides 4 to 6 feet down near the where the point of entry is on the coastline, and rains 5 to 10 inches, but not in the city. The 5 to 10 inches is down near Port Sulphur and to the east of the eye. And that's about the way it looks right now. We'll be back in about a half an hour with an update.
Nash, let me ask you a question. Has it dissipated in strength any going over land?
It's dissipated a little bit because of the friction with the land area, but that's such a narrow body of land that the friction and the slowing down or weakening will be very temporary, and will be back over the water again.
And do you assume it'll pick up strength once it hits the open water?
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to be too much more than the 75 miles an hour minimal hurricane strength.
When do you think that Plaquemines Parish residents and those in St. Bernard will begin seeing relief from this?
By this afternoon.
Now, do you think that this is going to create a problem for the Mississippi Gulf Coast of all those casinos that are parked right there on the beach?
Well, it isn't going to help them any. It's going to be windy, rainy, and unpleasant, but I don't know that it's going to be extremely dangerous.
All right.
A couple of other things I thought I wanted to talk about, but one is that the rainfall, the heavy rainfalls are not for the city of New Orleans, and the strong winds are not for the city of New Orleans. I think the metropolitan New Orleans area will be about 25 to 35 mile an hour winds with some higher gusts.
All right. We've dodged another bullet, it seems, Nash.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much. And we have Don Westbrook in the studio with us right now, along with meteorologist Nancy Russo. The forecast for us right now, Don?
Well, it's not really a bad forecast for today. We're expecting, of course, cloudy skies. We're also expecting showers and thunderstorms in the area today. We're looking for high temperatures around 80 to 85. But as Nash pointed out, it's going to be a windy day. We're looking at east to northeast wind 25 to 35 miles per hour and gusty. Tonight, cloudy skies. We'll continue to see some showers and thunderstorms in the area. They will be scattered. Lows of 72 to 77. Northwest and north wind 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusty. Then tomorrow we should begin to see a little difference in our weather. Cloudy to partly cloudy tomorrow with only widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. A little more sunshine and a little more heat. Getting up to 88 to 93 tomorrow afternoon with northwest and north wind 12 to 20 miles per hour and gusty.
Okay,
And
thank you.
quickly, Nancy, what did happen happened to make this change into a full-fledged hurricane in a quick explanation?
Well, you have to realize that the water in the Gulf this far north is very warm. It's about 86 degrees across the Gulf just south of Louisiana. And it only takes the temperature of 80 degrees for you to have a hurricane. So that's very warm water. Now, typically, though, when we're this close to the coastline, we get a little friction and we don't see that intensification. But it happens for some reason within this storm system. But luckily, since it was so close to the coast, it only got up to the 75, which is the minimal.
Well, the brunt of it's been in Plaquemines Parish. And we have Bill Capo, who's down there now live. Bill, what's happening in Plaquemines?
Well, it's a pretty miserable dawn down here, Eric. We've had, for about the last hour and a half, a series of severe, you can see it's got that hurricane look, the low, rushing, smooth bottom clouds. You can see the bands as they're rushing across. We've had a series of thunderstorms and very strong gusty wind pushing across the area. At times the rain is going sideways. It's that stinging rain that you feel when it's a very high wind. At some points the wind is strong enough that it makes it hard to stand up. I was trying to get out of the car at one point and the wind slammed the door on me. We're at the West Point of Lahash ferry landing. The ferry just a few minutes ago came across the river. Now the wind is strong enough in the river to raise whitecaps. Looks like waves of maybe a foot or two in the Mississippi River right now, but the ferry made it across. As you can see, one car coming off. Looks like at least two other cars. I think those are either parish workers or sheriff's deputies in these two vehicles that are now preparing to get on the ferry. Whether it's actually operating or not, it looks like it is, but I have not had a chance to talk to the captain to find out if he's going to make regular trips across the river. I don't, at this point, I have not heard any reports of damage. This is strong, very gusty wind, but we're perhaps, I'm not a good guess of exactly how much wind we're getting, but if we're around hurricane strength, it does not look like the kind of wind that is going to blow trees down, that is going to blow houses apart. It has blown a number of branches and leaves and stuff. There's garbage all over the road around us. So it's not a very severe storm in terms of hurricanes. It's certainly not anything close to a Betsy or a Camille, but it is unexpected in the punch that it has packed in this area. People expected Tropical Storm Danny. What they got was Hurricane Danny, and a number of people in this area. We talked to some residents in Fort Sulphur who have stayed up all night, a bit worried because of the unexpected ferocity of the storm. Very few cars on Highway 23. Occasionally, and most of them seem to be more the official vehicle type. We've seen a number of the sheriff's deputies' cars that are going by. So the very gusty situation continues here. The clouds continue to rush past, looking like they are going mainly towards the west-southwest at this point. So the severe storms, it's raining. We've got these strong gusts that continue. They've been for an hour or two, and I heard Dan say that, rather Nash say that, I heard Nash say that this is going to continue yet for some time. So that's the situation here in Plaquemines Parish. This is Bill Capo reporting live.